actually started crying because I couldn't call anybody. You just arrived in this country 2 days, you already have an accent. No, I was scared, but my problem was bigger than my fear at that point. So I entered. I have to sleep on the road that night. So if you see me switching my accent, don't come for me. Yes, people are going to tell you do this, do that, but you have to actually experience it yourself to know what works for you. And that made me stay under the code for half an hour. Also, not only did I stay under the code for half an hour, I got to work late. I realized it was the accent. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Hi guys, Maddie here. Welcome back to my channel. So you guys, I'm so excited. Thank you so much everyone that watched my last video, everyone that commented, everyone that liked. Thank you so much. You guys are the reason why I am filming the second one, because if I didn't get all those supports, I wouldn't have had the zeal to do the second one. So thank you guys so much for all the support, for all the love. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So have you guys ever thought of what it's like to move out of your comfort zone into a new environment, new culture, start a new job, start making new friends? Like, have you guys ever thought of what it's like? I know that very commonly when things go south, we tend to say we want to move out, start a new life in a new place with new people, all that. We tend to say that a lot when things tend to go bad. But have you actually thought of what it's like to actually do it? I mean, you're living your comfort zone, you're living your environment that you're very used to. You're starting a new job in a new environment. You're going to start learning new cultures, possibly new language, and start making new friends. Have you really thought of what it actually feels like? I know it's easy to say, but have you sat down to actually ask yourself, what is this going to actually be like? So on today's episode, or in today's video, I am going to be talking all about that. If you watched my last video, you would know that I said I just recently moved to the UK, haven't really stayed up to a year here. So I am going to be telling you guys how I am adapting, how I have adapted so far. I'm going to be talking to you about a lot of this. So I'm going to be sharing all that with you, so you can tell that this video is going to be very fun. So just get comfortable, grab a drink if you must. Get very comfortable because it's about to be a ride. Without further ado, let's get started. If you watch my last video, you'd hear I say that I'm a nurse and I'm currently practicing in the UK. I am from Nigeria, schooled in Nigeria, and did everything that has made me who I am in Nigeria. And I just relocated to the UK to start practicing as a nurse in the UK. Yeah, so before I migrated, I went online, I searched. So this video is going to be very interesting. Let me just say that before I start talking. Very interesting. I'm going to be telling you guys a lot. So before I migrated, I went online, I did research, I read articles online, I read on Twitter, Instagram, watch vlogs, videos, random videos about what life is like here, what it's like migrating alone with nobody. I did all that. I mean, that's the wise thing to do apparently, because I was going to be here alone actually. So I did all the research, and one thing I picked, not that I picked a lot of things, but one thing I'm going to be talking about first is a lot of people were saying that you do not need to switch your accent, that once you get here, they would understand you no matter the accent you use, because it's English. Of course, we speak English in Nigeria, so they were like, you don't have to switch your accent, just speak your normal English and they will understand you, right? So I was like, cool, fine. I mean, who has strength to be, blowing phone every single day? Like, I was happy about that. That was one information that I was really excited about, and I was looking forward to exploring it. So when I eventually got here, I got here during the COVID period, so I had to quarantine for 10 days, and eventually it was time for me to start working. So I apparently where my work was and where I was staying at the moment was, you know, a bit far. So I got on the first bus. So I told the bus driver that I was stopping at Lincoln Road. Yeah. And then he said, what? I said Lincoln Road. So we went on what for like 4 to 5 times, and then he eventually said, yeah, okay, get in. So I felt he heard what I said. I felt he had finally understood what I was saying. But apparently he was tired of asking me to repeat and time was going, so he just asked me to get in. That was what happened. So what happened was, you know, I thought he heard me, I thought he understood what I was saying, so I just got into the bus and went to sit down. I was checking my map as he was going, but I wasn't really keen on it because I felt the bus driver knew I was going to drop there, and I had already told him I don't know where it is, so if he gets there, please drop me. And he has agreed. Yeah. So after some time, I just checked. I said, let me just check the map because I feel, I mean, that's the right thing to do. Just check the map to know how far I've gone. And I realized that I've passed Lincoln Road. I was like wondering what happened, what's the problem? But then, luckily for me, even the last bus stop where the bus stops, finally, I can still get a bus to work, but I'll be late. So I got there and I asked him, why didn't you stop me on Lincoln? And he was just explaining that I can still get a bus there, which I already knew, but I was going to be late. So I was trying to find out, but he wasn't really, you know, so I just responded well, so I just got down. Yeah, so I checked the map, and apparently the next bus was coming in half an hour time, which was really long if you have to stand under 7 degrees. The weather was so cold, and I'm not even used to it. I'm coming from Nigeria where we're used to our normal hot weathers. It was so freaking cold, you know. It was about 7 to 8 degrees, I don't know, but it was really, really cold, and I was under the cold for half an hour. I can't forget that day very quickly, you get. But then what happened was, it was the accent eventually. That was what I realized. It was the accent. The accent that I used to tell him where I was stopping, he didn't understand what I was saying. And that made me stay under the cold for half an hour. Also, not only did I stay under the cold for half an hour, I got to work late. But luckily for me, my manager is very understanding, very loving, and she was like, it's fine, because she understood that I was new, and probably she was expecting that I was going to be late. Apparently she was expecting I was going to be late, so she just told me to like get in. So I, you know, started work. But then another thing happened. I felt totally unheard. Like, I will talk and people will be like, what, you know. It was not easy for me. And I kept on repeating what I was saying, and sometimes I get tired and I just never mind, you know. I felt absolutely unheard throughout the first day at work. So I decided to switch up, you know. I'm a Disney kid. I watched a lot of Disney, you know, programs when I was growing up. So I picked a few accents from there. So the next day I got to work and I switched, you know. What I noticed was people started understanding what I was saying. Like, I didn't have to repeat myself 1,000 times before they understand what I was saying. Yes, people are going to tell you, do this, do that, but you have to actually experience it yourself to know what works for you. So at that point, using my normal accent didn't work for me, so I had to switch up. I suffered. You know, standing under the cold is not funny. Getting to work and not having anybody understand you on the first day of work is not funny. So if you see me switching my accent, don't come for me. Because I suffered. If you see me trying to like sound all tiger, don't come for me, because I know what I've been through. I like to always use it, except when I know I do not need to use it, especially maybe when I'm talking to my parents or my siblings. I know I do not need to use it, but outside that, I try to use it. Why? Because I want to get used to it. If you see me using this accent, don't come for me. You don't know what I've been through. Also, if you see people trying to switch up their accent, don't say because you just arrived in this country 2 days you already have an accent. People are trying to adapt. If you know you're here to work, you're going to be interacting with people, it's only best to switch up your accent if that's what works for you. I mean, some people, maybe their normal accent works for them. That is why they say people should use their normal accent. But whatever works for you, my dear, use it. If, you know, switching up your accent is what works for you, good and fine. If using your normal accent works for you. But for me, it didn't work for me. I had to repeat myself 1,000 times if I was heard, so I had to switch up my accent. Yeah, and yeah, you're welcome. I found my way. You know, when you're coming here, people will tell you, don't bring your power bank. There's always lights. Yes, there's always light. I'm not even going to say that the light. There's always light. I had a good working power bank that used to last me for 2 days before it would go down. My brother took it and told me that I'll see light here when I come. I saw light, but now that brings us to the next gist. So this day I did a late shift and I was coming back very late. I didn't check my phone battery. I didn't try to charge it at work. So if you're like me that doesn't charge your phone, carry your power bank. let me just get to the gist. Yeah, so the bus that took me is showing me that if I followed the bus down to the last bus stop, I was going to be getting home very late. And me, over Sabi me, there is a road I know. So I told the bus driver that he should drop me at Lincoln Road, because I felt that there was a bus coming from Lincoln Road, and Lincoln Road was closer to my house. But Google Map told me to follow the bus to the last bus stop, because that is where I was going to get a bus. And if I did follow the bus to the last bus stop, I was going to get home very late, and I didn't want to do that. So I tried to, use my Igbo brain to run it. So I stopped at Lincoln Road. Now when I stopped at Lincoln Road, I, reloaded my Google Map, and it told me that the next bus was coming in an hour time. The next bus coming in an hour time, I had to stand under the cold. It was freezing. The worst time to come in this country is during the winter. I was freezing, you get. And I checked what other options do I have. The other options I had was to trek, and trekking would take me about 30 minutes. If I have to wait for the bus, I have to wait for 1 hour before the bus get there. Then if I have to trek, I have to trek for like 30 minutes to get to where I want. So I did the math. Trekking is easier. I will get home faster, yeah? So I started trekking without checking my phone battery. I didn't know where I was going to trek to. I had to use the map to get to where I was going. And so I didn't check my phone battery. I started trekking. I got to the middle of nowhere, no bus stop, no light, and my battery died. I couldn't get to anyone. I couldn't, I didn't know where exactly I was. I didn't know where else to stand and wait for the bus. I was just in the middle of nowhere. My battery died. I started thinking about my life, and then I remember that I used to have a power bank that was working very well. That if I had my power bank at that point, I would have powered my phone and continued my journey. Easy peasy, isn't it? But I didn't have a power bank. There was no light. I forgot to charge my phone, and I needed my phone desperately at that point. I was very confused. The road was very tricky. It's not a straight road, so I had to I was supposed to get to a roundabout where I had to choose one direction, and I didn't know exactly where to go. I actually started crying because I couldn't call anybody. It was crazy. I started crying, and then while I was crying, I wasn't at the bus stop, yeah? And then the bus that was supposed to pick me an hour time from the bus stop that I refused to wait for passed me. And that was the last bus for that day. God. I did not know what to think. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to react. I was just tired. I was just tired, sad, hungry, everything. I didn't know what to think. I just devastated. I just started walking, and then one white guy just drove by and stopped, and he asked me, "Where are you going?" And I was like, I told him, and he's like, he doesn't know there, but he can use his Google Map and drop me off. I was like, how did this person even know that I needed help? But I was scared to get in because I didn't know who he was. It was just a random person who was trying to help. I don't know if he was a serial killer or whatever. I didn't know, but I was scared. But my problem was bigger than my fear at that point, so I entered. So I knew that if I leave this person, the last bus has gone for the day. Nobody was going, it's on a scale of 100, it was only one person that could just stop like this and ask you, honestly, because people are scared. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're going to get them into trouble. They're trying to be careful. So on a scale of 100, it was only this guy that might be the only person to stop me that night, and I might have to sleep on the road that night because my phone was dead and I did not have a power bank. So I just got in, and he started moving, and when he on the Google Map, he noticed I was scared. I think he noticed I was scared, and he put the Google Map on speak out and kept it in front of me. So I will calm down and see that he was actually following the Google Map. He was really kind to me that night. So he drove me and took me back to my house where I was staying at that point. I was really grateful. I thanked him a lot, and yeah, but these are things that happen. My advice is carry a power bank. You would always use it. If you're someone like me that doesn't always charge their phone or remember to charge their phone, because I like pressing my phone, and most times if I have to charge my phone, I have to be away from my phone, so I like pressing my phone. I don't charge it. If you're someone like me, please have your power bank with you. Come with your power bank. It will save you a lot, because if I had my power bank that night, I wouldn't have been through all that stress. Till today, when I pass that area, because now I know the road, right? I understand that place, but whenever I pass them, I get this post-traumatic, I still get this fear in me, this was that place. I cried. You get me? Another thing was that, with the accent issue, I was actually skeptical about it. There's another thing with accents. You will be speaking English, only you is one understanding what you're saying, and you're only making sense to yourself, and you're only sounding twitch to yourself. I don't know if you get that point. That house, that also killed me, because I was like, what if I switch my accent and I'm the only one understanding my own accent? Because yes, one thing is watching it on the telly, thinking you understand, you've got the vibe. Another thing is actually using it in front of these people and having them understand you. Yeah, but I just said I had to give it a try. And actually, I didn't even say something. The second day when I switched off my accent, I met a nurse that it wasn't on duty the first day that I resumed. So we met and she was like, hi, you the new international nurse? I was like, yeah. She was like, did you school in America? I'm like, okay. Where is that coming from? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, no, I schooled in Nigeria. I've never been abroad before. This is my first time traveling out of the country. I'm like, oh, okay. You speak like you schooled in America. Like, okay. I am trying to use British accent and you're telling me I sound like America. I'm like, no problem. We're getting there. That is a good start. If I sound American and you understand me, that is good for me. From America or enter British, small, we'll get there. So another information I have to give you, apart from coming with your power bank, please use your Google Map. Google Map will never deceive you. Yeah, honestly, it will never deceive you. And most times to tell you you get home late, but that is because that is how the system works. If you have your own car, you can get home on time. If you're using the bus and the Google Map tells you take this bus, please take it. Don't go and do be like me and get stuck in the middle of nowhere at the middle of the night and start looking for a good Samaritan that'll come and grab you somewhere. Use your Google Map. Listen to it, yeah, and then until you get your own car. Even when you get your own car, still use your Google Map. I think everyone in this country still uses Google Maps. So once you want to go to somewhere, you have to use your Google Map. Listen to it. Don't do over-savvy. Don't feel like, okay, I know this road, I can use it. Don't do that math. Use your Google Map. Yeah, so that's it on that. So just keep an open mind. Do not hold on to information like this and just be rigid. Be flexible, because you're new here and things might be different. Yeah, people might have a different experience to you. So my advice is just keep an open mind. Your experience might be different from mine. Your accent might be perfect. Like, you might not have to suffer the way I suffered before I switched my accent. You might have to just keep an open mind. Do not be too rigid with the information you grab. That's one thing I would advise anyone coming or migrating to anywhere at all. It doesn't have to be the UK, but wherever you're migrating, whatever information you get, yes, it's good to get all those information, but also keep an open mind. Do not be rigid. Try to be flexible. When this one is not working, you switch. Yeah. So for now, yeah, if you're here, what was your experience? Drop it in the comment section. What was your most dramatic, sad experience in this country? What have you not gotten over till today? Drop it in the comment section. What was your experience with the accent? Yes, exactly. What was your own experience with the accent? Was your accent good enough? Did you have to repeat yourself like me? Did you have to switch at any point? Was your English clear enough the first time? Just drop your experiences. How has it been so far, and how are you adapting the system? How did it hit you? I mean, the having to wait at the bus stop, and if you are 1 minute late and the bus leaves you, the bus cannot stop anywhere else except at the bus stop. Yeah, and my way. Yeah. I got this bubble yesterday. Let me give it a try. My way. My way, my way, 'cause I find my way, my way, my way, my way. I love doing this. It's so fun. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and comment. Bye.